Welcome back. All right, in this one, we're going to be multiplying and dividing rational expressions. This is really pretty easy because essentially, again, we're just multiplying and dividing fractions. That's all that a rational expression is. So just get right into it. What is the product of each? So remember, when you're multiplying fractions, you just multiply straight across. So 12 times 5 and 15 times 4. 12 times 5 is 60. 15 times 4 is also 60. So we have 60 divided by 60, which would end up with 1. That is 60, right? 30, yeah. Yeah, okay, cool. All right, 1, yay. So 2 times 7, 3 times 11 is 14 over 33. It will not reduce anymore. That is my solution. All right, so now let's actually do it with rational expressions. We have 2 times 6, which is 12, over x plus 1 times x minus 3. So another thing Apex will also do is I think they're going to distribute this so that you will come up with 12 over x squared minus 2x minus 3. That is how they will write their solution. If you're curious where I got that from, if you're not sure, remember, we are doing x squared and then minus 3x and then plus x and then minus 3. All right, so then combine like terms and that'll get you the x squared minus 2x minus 3. Nothing simplifies there, so that's all I'm going to do with it. All right, moving on. We have 2 times 5, which is 10 over x times 2x plus 3. Let's go ahead and multiply all of that out. So I have x times 2x is 2x squared plus 3 times x, so plus 3x. That is our solution. Cool. We have 2x minus 7 times 3x over x plus 3 times x minus 3. So I'm going to distribute the 3x to both of those. So I have 6x squared minus 21x over x squared minus 3x plus 3x, so plus 0x, minus 9. That's a difference of squares, so x squared minus 9. That's all there is to that one. Cool. All right, so now this one. Notice we have a common factor, right? We have x minus 3 times x plus 2. Right? That's all multiplying, and then x plus 2 times x plus 9. We did this in the last video, actually. If I have a common factor and it's all being multiplied, I can divide that common factor out. So it's really like it's not even there anyways. So this will just end up as x minus 3 over x plus 9. Makes our lives a lot easier. So that x plus 2 divided by x plus 2 makes it 1. So it reduces. Cool. All right, don't get freaked out if you see something like this. It's still just multiplication. So multiplying straight across, this would end up as AC over BD. And there's no simplification, so there's no common terms. All right, so now we're going to get into division of fractions or rational expressions. With division, so let me rewrite this for you. So I'm going to talk to you about a shortcut, but this is 3 over 4 divided by 5 over 7. All right, so that's super ugly. So what mathematicians did is they said, well, if I multiply this whole thing by an ugly fraction, right, 7 over 5 divided by 7 over 5, then what happens in our denominator is 7 divided by 7 makes 1, 5 divided by 5 makes 1, and now it's just straight multiplication, so this turns into 3 times 7, which would be 21, over 4 times 5, which would be 20. So that made our lives a lot easier. So the shortcut, I think you learned this in middle school or something like that, was to flip the second, dividing fractions as easy as pi, flip the second and multiply, or something like that. I don't know. I just remember, we are making that the reciprocal, so we're changing it to 7 over 5, and instead of division, now it becomes multiplication. So 3 over 4 times 7 over 5, which is exactly what we came to here with our math. So still we will get 21 divided by 20, and there would be our fraction when we are dividing those two things. All right, so same thing here. Be careful. I know you see a 7 and you see a 7, but those do not divide because we have division. So to change that to multiplication, don't forget you need to change the second one to 5 over 7. And I'm going to leave the first one the same, 2 over 7 times 5 over 7. So this becomes 10 over 49. which is not reducible. All right, so flip the second one and change it to multiplication. Moral of the story. All right, moving on. Where are we? There we are. Okay, so again, I'm going to flip the second one, so this will become x minus 3 over x plus 1, keep the first one the same, times 5x over 4. And then we're just going to distribute. So 5x times x minus 3 will come out 5x squared minus 15x over 4 times x plus 1, so that would be 4x plus 4. That's it. So now again, same thing, we're just doing a lot of these. So I have 7x over 2x plus 3. Now it's times x plus 9 over x minus 1. I don't have any common factors, so I'm going to have to distribute everything. So in distributing my numerator, that's 7x squared plus 63x. Here, I'll take my time on this next one for you guys. And then 2x squared minus 2x plus 3x, and then minus 3. So then combine my terms in your denominator. This will come out 7x squared plus 63x over 2x squared plus x minus 3. Pretty sure that's how Apex is writing their answers. If they're not, and really what I do in my classroom, I'm pretty sure Apex is doing that though, is I just leave it like this. Because it will help as you guys go into pre-cal and you start graphing these things, as you go into calculus and start finding the limits and derivatives of these things. Actually, that would be easier with calculus in this form. But I like to keep it like this because it'll help us out in graphing. You'll see that later on in this unit, in this first unit of semester B. All right, moving on. So I have 3x over x minus 8, so I'll keep that the same. And then I'll change this to multiplication now. 3x minus 4 over 6x squared. Now I do see some reduction that I can do, so I'm going to go ahead and reduce those things. See if you see it. So I see 3 divided by 6 would reduce to 1 over 2. I also see x divided by x squared would make it just 1 over x. So now that I've done that, this is 3x minus 4, so I have 1 times that, over 2x times x minus 8. Okay, so that makes our multiplication a lot easier. So this becomes 3x minus 4 over 2x squared minus 16x. And that would be our solution. All right, it's probably going to be another one that happens. So pay attention. If you can cross-reduce, go ahead and reduce, since it's just multiplication straight across. All right, again, keep the first one the same. So x to the 4th over 3x minus 1 times x minus 12 over 2x plus 3. So I look for any reducing that I can do. And I don't see any because that's x to the 4th, and that has a minus 1, that has a plus 3, so I'm stuck there. That has a minus 12, and I can't do anything with those either. So I'm just going to have to multiply this straight out. So x to the 4th times both of those, so that would give me 5x's, so x to the 5th minus 12x to the 4th over 3x times 2x would give me 6x squared. So now 9x minus 2x would be plus 7x. Negative 1 and 3 is minus 3. There would be my solution. All right, moving on. Okay, so now I see quadratics, and what I like to do anytime I have quadratics, just to see if something will divide out, because sometimes it does. If it doesn't, I'll put it back in the form, but if it does, it's super helpful. So first thing I see is x squared minus 9, so I will factor that. That's not correct. That's supposed to be a minus. I'm sorry. Over x plus 2. Now remember, I'm going to flip this one, so I'm going to flip this as well. So now looking at my denominator, I can factor out a 3. And my numerator will factor as x plus 3 times x plus 3. So now let's see if something divides out. I see a couple things. Right? We have an x plus 3, and an x plus 3 will divide out. I also have an x plus 2 and an x plus 2 will divide out as well. So doing that, factoring this stuff, made our lives so much easier because now we didn't have to multiply x squared minus 9 times all this junk and then try to factor and then try to reduce. We could kind of reduce along the way. So now I just have x minus 3 and 3, so 3 times x minus 3, and the denominator is just x plus 3. So really this is just 3x minus 9 over x plus 3. Save yourself some time and take this second to factor everything out and see what reduces. All right, probably going to be able to do it again in this next one. So again, I see quadratics. I see a quadratic, I see a quadratic, I see that I can factor 3 out of this. So with the quadratic over here, that's x plus 5 and x minus 5 over x plus 4. Now I need to change that to multiplication and make this become the numerator. So 3 times x plus 4. Look at that, the x plus 4s already go away. That's cool. Over, this would be x minus 5 times x minus 5. So the x minus 5, one of them will go away as well. So now I have 3 times x plus 5, so 3x plus 15, over, that's gone, that's gone, that's gone, that's gone, so just x minus 5 in the denominator. And there it would be reduced. All right. Hopefully this video was helpful. It wasn't as bad as I thought it would be. So please, 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 though, let me know what questions you guys got on any of this or anything in the lesson. Bring it on. All right, I look forward to hearing from you guys. I'll talk to y'all soon.